Okay, I wanted to try an in-flight camera on the Dynam Tiger Moth again because I wasn't very happy with yesterday's efforts because the camera was shaking and creating a sort of jello effect. It wasn't braceful enough, so I've tried, same camera, whatever, but I've tried to brace the camera quite a bit more firmly. I've got pads of tape underneath it now, which I'm hoping will brace it. Okay, so we'll try and start it recording. Thing goes away if you don't do it quickly enough. Oh, it is recording now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought it would ignore me. It's a bit hard to tell what it's doing. You got to hit it quickly. It comes up. You touch the screen, the menu comes up. But if you don't touch a button in the menu within about 2 seconds or whatever, or 1.5 seconds, it goes away again.
Throttle cut off. Throttle cut off.
As you can see, I'm not very savvy and comfortable with this modern touchscreen. Unfortunately, the wind's getting up. I was hoping it would go down, but it doesn't seem to be. Although it maybe is shifting to the west. I had to get my granddaughter to teach me how to use that thing. Because I'm used to using computers. I've been using computers for ages, but I'm not used to using the modern technology with swiping and touchscreens and whatever. So I wasn't clear how to do some of the stuff. I had to phone my granddaughter and ask her. Anyway, so let's see if we can fly this guy. If the wind doesn't bother us too much, we sincerely hope not. And, you know, here he is ready to go, hopefully. I don't know, yes. And we'll see. Tail dragger, up elevator. Yeah. Playing around with my flap control, which won't do me any good because this guy doesn't have flaps. That's what is normally my flap control. Definitely a bit of wind now, which I could do without, but because this guy doesn't have, I'm just flying him on a 3-cell, and with the 3-cell he doesn't have tons of power. That's largely upwind because the wind's sort of coming from the northwest. Well, shifting between northwest and west.
Time remaining 6 minutes.
Getting past my useful point of compromise with height there, and even with a big plane like this, he's getting high enough that, you know, he's not super easy to see at that height for me. I don't know, I think my prescription's okay, but I should probably go and get my eyes tested again. I should, actually. My friend's been after me to do it for a while, and I really should. Haven't done my eyes tested for a while. I don't get any sense the plane's out of focus. It's just hard to interpret the information available to you. Not now, I can tell where he is now, but when he's edge on and things, it's sometimes it's just hard to tell what, you know, how, if he, and he tilts, he's edge on and he tilts, it's hard to tell which way he's tilted sometimes. That's probably the worst thing, when you've got to play an edge on like that and it tilts, and you're trying to correct for the tilt, but it's not immediately obviously apparent sometimes whether the wing towards you is going up or down. So which way it's tilting, in other words. When it's fairly small, telling which way, when it's coming towards you like that, it should be fairly easy. This blasted wind is getting up, though. It's stronger. It's not going away. I really was hoping, as that storm, you can see the storm cell to the south with the clouds and things, and I was hoping that the wind was getting sucked into that, and as that went away, the wind would abate, but it doesn't seem to be doing so particularly. It goes up and down, but
Time remaining 4 minutes.
Yeah, getting a little bit further away than I really want to be there, especially given that we're also fairly high. What did you say, 4 minutes? And I tend to respect that on the whole. That time, I don't think he's going to go a lot more than that, really, especially in the wind and whatever. And he's flying on a 3200 3-cell, which is what I usually fly this plane on. It's meant to fly on a 4-cell, but it seems to me it flies perfectly scale on a 3-cell. I'm flying my circuits a bit cockeyed here because the wind's, cross runway, but I'm going to have to land down the runway. This guy needs a little bit of room to land, so I'm going to have to land down the runway. So we'll just do what we can.
3 minutes.
One more circuit and then bring him in, I guess. Good Lord, I mean, it's really, as I say, much of the time you can see what he's doing, but there are moments when the information just doesn't seem very clear. The light catches him and you just can't see his wings and things that clearly. So I guess this is the advantage of FPV. In FPV you're always sort of seeing the plane, but you may not be seeing the ground, so you may or may not, and I don't have any instrumentation for FPV. I won't fly this guy FPV. But I mean, when you are flying FPV, you don't have the issue of trying to see the plane in the distance that you have flying line of sight, but nor do you have the issue of sort of converting left and right, based on the angle and whatever. What you do have is you can't always see the ground, and you could get lost. I mean, sometimes you have to look at the ground.
2 minutes.
You have to look at the ground to know where you are. We should be coming in. You have to look at the ground just to know where you are in FPV, because the clouds ain't going to tell you anything. Well, if there are any, but it doesn't really matter. The sky is not going to tell you where you are. So you have to be able to see the ground to know where you are in FPV. And then I don't want to get too near the sun. I want to go over there to come in, but I don't want to get too near the sun. Why am I going up? Have I got room to come in here, hopefully? Oh, bloody hell. Oh, stalled him. Bugger. Don't usually do that. Damn.
Cut on.
Damn! Stalled him bringing him in, trying to muck around with the wind. Broke a piece of the undercarriage, broke the rudder, more to the point. I don't know what. That's not good. Oh, well. No, that's just to pop out the undercarriage, but I don't know what I broke on the rudder there. No, I was having trouble getting him to come in with the wind, and I ultimately stalled him. I'll stop the onboard camera. Oh, it's torn the hinge is what it's done. It's a foam hinge and it's torn it. It's a foam hinge and it tore the foam hinge. Oh well. Not good, but should be repairable. Well, that wasn't pretty. But these things happen. Crashed this guy worse than that before, but still not at all happy about that. But what can you do?